Alright, so I was going to give an overview of the install. This is definitely not a full-on tutorial. It's just going to be an overview. You still need to read through the written directions. For the most part, your basic tools, you're going to have your Allen keys, and then you're of course going to need to drill 2 holes into the side over here. That's going to be used to help mount and stabilize the nozzle. Went through a lot of revisions trying to make this thing work without it. Just didn't work out for ease of use. But as you can see, I've got the nozzle kit assembled on here already. Basically, the air hose just kind of fits in. And we'll go ahead and take the lens out and talk about it a little bit. So pretty easy install. Once you do the hole drilling, you're basically downhill from there on the easy. And if you have to adjust this thing in the future, after you took it off or what have you, it's really not that hard to get back lined up, simply because you already have one direction generally fixed, and then you're just doing this sliding direction. I'm just going to take this Allen key here. So one bolt on this back does stay retained, and the other one that you have to remove. So I can just loosen up the one on the front. I guess technically it's the back. And loosen the other two. And then the whole thing just slides off, right? So if I needed to go back to stock, it doesn't take very long. I can put the original air fitting back in place, be back in business, and put this back in. So in general, the adjustments are y-axis is going to be sliding on these slots here. You can see how that one's the retained bolt. That's why I had to take it completely out. The others stay in. And then the X left to right are going to be these 4 bolts here. So if I loosen those up, this whole assembly can slide left and right. I've got a booster window typically that sits in here, and then you got your nozzle cone, which you can see down through it. Got a 3mm opening on this one. But that's it, it's ASA plastic, pretty robust, some TPU, and air hose. If I had to remove this right here, you can get that out, and then the little nut block that's on the inside, and you just kind of pull these back down and reseat it, and then make sure that that's back. And if we take this little nut block out, that slides in where the gap between the 1.5 and 2-inch lens would go on the head. So that's just this little assembly. It's got 2 nuts embedded in it. So we got all metal threads. There's no plastic threads. But when you're drilling, I provide this little guide here. That's going to go place. You have a little bit of masking tape, and then you're going to mark it with a pen or a Sharpie, whatever gets through those holes. You're not going to drill with this in place, right? You're just going to make your marks, drill your little pilot holes, and then drill the final holes. While you're drilling, there's also this little block here that you can install. And what that does is when the bit punctures through the aluminum, because it's pretty soft, it's going to want to drive to the side. This is going to help protect while you're drilling. Now in the written directions, I show taking this completely off, the X belt off and all that. If you want, you can try without. You're going to have a little bit of tension from the belt and a little bit of tension from this drag chain here trying to fight you. But if you jog this to the right and maybe have somebody help you, it won't be too bad, and that'll actually speed up your install quite a bit. And then we got the focus probe down here at the bottom. So once you get done installing this, you need to have enough clearance between the tip of the nozzle and the actual focus probe. So whenever the focus probe gets pressed, it is pressed before the nozzle is pressing into your material. So once you get done doing that, you need to also do a ramp test on your lens, and that will set the new values for your autofocus. Your manual focus should stay the same, if it was already dialed in, and this is just getting the software so you get the right offset, because as you move this autofocus post up and down, that messes with the values that are saved in the machine settings. But that's it. It really is easy. Like when I go to put this back on, I've only really got to mess with that one direction. I'll stick my cell phone over there, put a piece of tape over this opening, look for the red dot with my cell phone, line it up, and then pulse it after I remove the cell phone out of the way, pulse it, and adjust as needed. and it's really just sliding back and forth. So earlier, I've mentioned that the 1.5-inch lens may not work. It's not because of a physical issue necessarily. It's because the beam getting into focus. But I ran it this morning, posted a video of that, and it worked fine. So I feel comfortable in saying it should work. You'll just have to spend your time getting your alignment dialed in, making sure that your beam spot and everything are coming out the center of the opening of the stock laser head. But hopefully this helps. Let me know if you got any questions. This should be a pretty useful kit for anybody that cuts anything. Your cut lines are going to be so much cleaner with this direct air.